again, I always talk about my guys taking stuff personal, and they do. We needed that game. It was a big game for us at this point in the season, and I think the bounce back win to come back and be the team that kind of escaped out of here with a win the other day. That's huge for our morale and our team morale, and so overall it was just a great performance by our pitching staff. Our hitters, 14, 13 hits, so they did their job, and our pitching staff did their job. So overall, it was a great performance. I thought it was pretty dominant.
It's definitely a fun game to be a part of. It's when you got runners on every inning, it's a recipe for a win.
As a team, I think just that feeling when we're on, it's kind of just the worries are not there.
You want to hear more great quotes like that from Trey Bacon, Daniel Burroway, and the rest of your Batavia Muck Dogs? Well, the only way to do it is to stay tuned to the official Batavia Muck Dogs postgame show starting right now. Good evening, everybody, and welcome into this edition of the Batavia Muck Dogs postgame show. I'm John Karuba. And that, quite frankly, on top of all the great performances we've seen at home from this team this season, that very well could have been the best as they completely blow out and dominate Geneva by a final count of 12-3. And the amazing thing, outside of the first inning, they had base runners on in every single inning, and they scored in almost every single inning. And that's something, when this Muck Dog team, when we saw them get off to that real roll at the start of the year, that's exactly what we saw, and we saw an exact repeat of that tonight. And the pitching got it done because they only needed to use two guys, Tyler Prospero and Trey Bacon, who you will hear later on in the postgame show. So that's a brief summary of how they got it done, but don't take my word for it. Let's listen to the game highlights, as always, presented to you by the Batavia Muck Dogs Baseball Network. And in this ball game, it was Batavia that struck early and often.
It'll be an 0-1 from the lefty Thompson. Lefty against lefty. And he gets the bunt down, bunted to third. Fielded beautifully, thrown to first, unable to handle it. And so now Burroway comes to the plate. He scores standing up. Schrader reaches. Moving to second is Corso. And because of that well-executed bunt by Schrader and the inability of the first baseman for Geneva, that is Mike Gorham to handle it. Your Muck Dogs get on the board first. Batavia 1, Geneva no score. Once again, the 2-2. That might do it. Leadham hits it high in the air, but to shallow left. Coming on the outfield, makes the play, sending the runner to the plate. Throw is offline. Gets by the catcher, ducks. Run, scores. Canoe hustles to second base. And scoring there on the sac fly by Josh Leadham to make it 2-0 is Aguila. Again in the bottom of the third, sac fly for Leadham. Batavia 2, Geneva no score. And it'll be a 2-2 on its way. And Schrader hits it, pokes it into right field for a base hit. They're going to send him home. Here comes Burroway to throw up the first base line. So the aggressive base running pays off. Burroway scores. Moving up to third is Corso, and on first with the ribby single, Gavin Schrader to right. It's now Batavia 3, Geneva no score in the bottom of the fourth, looking to blow it open. Runner goes, pitches up and in, throw to second, a run down, but that's going to allow the runner at third to come on down and score. They do get Schrader back at first in the rundown for the first out, but what's more important was the runner on third, Corso, coming to the plate and scoring. And in the bottom of the fourth, Batavia 4, Geneva no score.
But just when it seemed like Batavia was on their way to cruise control mode, going to have a nice, easy win tonight, all of a sudden, back came Geneva in a flash.
Swung on, hit on the ground, and past the lunging try. The second baseman Fry into center field. So scoring just like that is trouble. Standing on first with the RBI single, Gorham. And in the top of the fifth inning, it's now your Muck Dogs 4 and Geneva 1 as the Red Wings get on the board.
a tremendous defensive play that allowed Batavia to turn to and really get out of that jam and was a major turning point in the game.
It'll be a 1-0 on its way. Swung on, hit on the ground at third. Could it be two? Throw to second, one. Throw to first in time. A double play around the horn, 5-4-3. No RBI. Another run does come home. But if you're Batavia, you will take that easily. You will trade the run for the 2 outs. And in the top of the 5th, Geneva creeping closer. Batavia 4, Geneva 2, but a big pitch from Prospero. Give him a lot of credit there.
However, the Muck Dogs proved to be resilient as they would score 2 more to counter and get a big lead once again.
It'll be a 3-1 from Hayden Smith. And Canoe chops it on the ground to third. That's going to allow a run to score. Jump throw to first in time. Another good play. But scoring standing up is Torres. Moving up to third, Aguila. It's going to be an RBI ground out for Canoe. And in the bottom of the 5th inning, Batavia gets one of those runs right back. It's your Muck Dogs 5 and Geneva 2. It'll be an 0-2 count from Smith. And Leadham rockets that into left. Gets down for a base hit. Trotting in to score is Aguila. Standing on first with a hot shot. 2 out, back-breaking, 2-strike RBI single is Josh Leadham. Bottom of the 5th, Batavia has answered. Said, okay, Geneva, you gave us 2. I'll see your 2 and raise you 2 more. It's Batavia 6, Geneva 2.
And just when Geneva thought that they was starting to get away from them again, they were able to answer back with another run of their own.
2-2, swung on and a high fly ball to left center. That's probably going to get a run home. Center fielder makes the catch. Throw to second, and did they double him up? Yes! A double play! So a run scores. I don't know what the runner outside was doing, but he got caught leaning off second too far. A strong throw back into second by the center fielder. So 2 away, a run does score on the sac fly, but that is massive. If Batavia wins, bookmark that. Top of the 6th, now 6-3 Batavia.
And from there, Batavia continued to pour it on again, including on another mishandled bunt that allowed a couple more runs to score. And in addition to that, some timely and clutch hitting allowed Batavia to break it open late with 6 unanswered runs.
Runners off first and second. Here comes the pitch. Benitez squares, gets it down. Third base side, bobbled by the pitcher. Throw sails way past the first baseman. Down the right field line. Runners off to the races. Schrader scores. Throw to the plate. He gets in there. Going all the way to third is Benitez. Reinhardt and Schrader both score. And in the bottom of the 6th with nobody out, thanks to that costly error, your Muck Dogs busting it open. Batavia 8, Geneva 3. Boy, now that pitch gets away from Ducks to the backstop, and now Benitez scores standing up. So just like that, in a blink of an eye, the Muck Dogs strike. They strike fast. It's now Batavia 9 and Geneva 3. It'll be a 1-0 on its way. And Burroway smacks that in the air to the left. That's going to be trouble. Over the head of Gelby to the left field wall. Canoe, come on down to score. And he does. Moving up to third, Leadham. And jogging into second with his second 2-bagger of the night. This time for an RBI is Daniel Burroway. And in the bottom of the 7th, Batavia just putting out any doubts in this one. It's your Muck Dogs 10 and Geneva 3. It'll be a 1-1 home. Swung on, ripped down the ground to short. Fields it clean. Throw to first in time, but Josh Leadham scores. And in the bottom of the 7th inning, Batavia keeps adding on, up 11-3. First base out of the run of the next pitch. Schrader hits it on the ground right side of the infield. Second baseman Fields throw to first, and he's going to beat it out, as I don't think he ever made the throw. And coming across to score is Burway. And in the bottom of the seventh, Batavia is pouring it on. It's your Muck Dogs 12, Geneva 3.
So after that, here it came, top of the ninth, 2 out, with Batavia trying to snap out of the 2-game home losing skid, and the batter was Jordan Jaffe with Trey Bacon trying to go the last 4 innings to close it out.
Again, takes in from the right side. It'll be an 0-2 from Bacon. Bases loaded. Pitch, check, swing. He went around! And there's your ball game, folks. Your Muck Dogs win in convincing fashion. Your final score tonight, Batavia 12 and Geneva 3.
And yes, indeed, your Batavia Muck Dogs close it out again. It's incredible how they continue to do the job. And so now that you heard how they got it done on the field, let's hear from the players and the manager about how they did it as well in this locker room report, as always, brought to you by the Batavia Muck Dogs Baseball Network. Here was Skip Martinez following his team's dominating 12-3 beating of Geneva tonight. And first, Coach, I know it's kind of the elephant in the room, but I want to ask it first. Geneva just played you guys here a few days ago, and it was not the ending that you guys would have wanted. How nice was it to come out and play like this tonight, especially against them, given what happened last time?
Again, I always talk about my guys taking stuff personal, and they do. We needed that game. It was a big game for us at this point in the season, and I think the bounce back win to come back and beat a team that, kind of escaped out of here with a win the other day, that's huge for our morale and our team morale. And so overall, it was just a great performance by our pitching staff, our hitters, 14, 13 hits, so they did their job, and our pitching staff did their job. So overall, it was a great performance. I thought it was pretty dominant.
And then we got to talk about the offense. 12 runs, 14 hits. They had traffic on every inning except the first. When you're watching your lineup click like that, that's like what it was doing earlier in the season. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts on your offense tonight?
Again, great at-bats, grinding out at-bats, not missing pitches they can get hit. And again, I think, once these guys get going like that, it's really contagious. So it kind of bounces up through the lineup. And, today it showed. I think our hitters are just coming back into that swing mode again and taking good pitches and taking good swings. And, again, I'm proud of the way they attack the ball. And, again, we talk about that old Yankee saying, when they're savages in the box, that's what they can do.
And pitching-wise, last time I spoke with you after a win, you had position players pitching. Mm-hmm. Tonight it was a lot more straightforward. It was Tyler Prospero and then Trey Bacon to finish it off. And they had to come in. Trey had to come in with a bases loaded, no-out situation. And also an outstanding job by Tyler getting out of that the inning before and to home the 3 runs overall. What did you think of the 2 guys you had on the mound tonight?
Prospero is, one of our leaders. He's one of our, veteran guys, so to speak. And, his performance was really gutty and gritty. And, he's always got this dare to be great attitude. He was a bulldog out there today. He, again, grinded out his innings. For him to bounce, got to get out of that inning, that was huge morale for him. And, he was super focused, super locked in from the very beginning. He did an outstanding job. And he got a little bit in trouble, and we went right to one of our dogs, and Trey Bacon, again, a guy that we rely on heavily. And I expected him to do exactly what he did. Come in there, shut the door. Came out of there with bases loaded, no outs, and just only gave up 1 run. That's huge. That was a big turning point for that game.
And then, in addition to that, you guys kept tacking on and scored in consecutive innings, and you kept throwing up runs. How important do you think that was tonight?
That's huge because I tell these guys, sometimes we get leads and we sit back a little bit and, we lose focus a little bit. And today was just keep adding, keep grinding out at bats. And they continue to do that. And, again, I'm so happy. I'm so proud of the pitching performance today and the offense clicked on all cylinders today. So hopefully we can keep that going.
And as far as, now we're in July and playoff positioning, you guys want to stay in one of the top 2 seeds. And obviously Geneva is a competitor for one of those. To get this win in terms of seeding, how big?
That's huge. Anybody that's in that, top 3, top 4 range, we gotta handle our business when we play those guys. So winning today and pushing them back a game further gives us a little breathing room. But our ultimate goal is to win the division. So we're still chasing that. So we still got a lot of ball left, and we still got a lot of games that we got to, come out here and compete and try to win, and hopefully, wind up at least in the top seed or top 2. That's our goal. Definitely, we're trying to shoot to win the division. That's always the goal. And right now, our guys, hopefully we can keep this going. And again, great game by our guys today. I'm proud of every single guy in that clubhouse.
In that 5th inning with the bases loaded, in center field, a tremendous double play turned to catch the runner off second. What did you think of that play?
I thought that was really heads up. It's sometimes we get caught up in trying to throw people out, we were all screaming 3-3. We didn't want the guys to advance. And for some reason, he must have peeked out of the corner of his eye and he saw the creeping off a little too much and threw behind the runner, and it worked out in our favor. That was a huge play that inning.
And last thing, Coach, tomorrow you guys got another game. We got some road games coming up and then back here Monday.
Yeah.
Your thoughts about where your team is as this long stretch continues?
I like where our team is at. A win tonight definitely helps morale, after a couple of scuffle games that we had. So I think we had our hiccup that we have to have. And from going on forward, I think we're going to start playing better baseball. I think these guys are sensing the urgency now, and we got to keep that and maintain that, and we're ready to keep rocking and rolling. So tomorrow's another big game.
And on that note, Coach, thank you so much for the time. Congrats on the win. Go Muck Dogs.
John, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Go Dogs.
Here with Daniel Burroway following a 12-3 convincing victory over Geneva. And Daniel, first of all, congrats on the win. And, you have a little history, your team. Geneva just was here on Sunday, and it was a tight game, not the ending you guys would have wanted. How important do you think it was for you guys to bounce back and play like that against them, given what happened on Sunday?
I think it was important to get our bats going again, get our confidence back up, and I think it was a big confidence booster to come back and beat them with a convincing win like that.
And, your offense, really from the second inning onward, you guys had runners on every inning, scored. When you're watching your offense just run like that, what's it like to be a part of it?
It's definitely a fun game to be a part of. It's when you got runners on every inning, it's a recipe for a win.
And as far as pitching-wise, your last couple wins here at home, Skip was having some fun. You had catchers pitching, pitchers catching. Obviously tonight, totally different story. It was 2 guys. It was Tyler Prospero, and then it was followed up by Trey Bacon. What did you think of those 2 guys tonight?
They did great tonight, throwing strikes, hitting their spots, and getting the job done when we needed it most.
And then they had 2 bases loaded opportunities for Geneva with nobody out, and they held them to 3 runs total. What do you think that says about them being able to limit the damage, and how important do you think that was?
It's definitely very important. I mean, they're grinders. They find ways out of crunches like that, and we expected them to get out of it.
And then as far as, then after that, they basically came in, shut the door down, and, to be able to have 2 pitchers that you could ride like that, what do you think that means for this team?
It's great. It definitely gives some guys some rest that maybe weren't going to get some today, but it keeps our pitching in line for the rest of the week.
What about that play in center field in the 5th inning by Abner Benitez? Strong throw to second, doubles them up, and really that sac fly, but it took a lot of wind out of their sails. What do you think of that play?
It was a great play. It was definitely a momentum killer for them. They had a bunch of momentum going in with that inning, and with that out, it was huge.
And Daniel, you've been hot at the plate lately. You had a couple big hits against Oneonta last night in that doubleheader, helped to a Game 1 victory, and then tonight 2 doubles, and you smoked an RBI double. What do you think has allowed your success in getting even better at the plate than you were before? What do you think is leading to this success in this hot streak?
I'm just getting more relaxed in the box and knowing the guys that are in front of me and behind me have my back if I'm not exactly hot that day.
And last thing here, you're going to have some road games coming up this weekend. And then on Monday, Niagara comes back again. You guys are fighting for that second seed, which you guys currently are. You want some home field advantage going into playoffs. How critical and your thoughts going into these matchups?
I think these are definitely big swing games for us. I think with our hitting, how it's been pretty hot. If we can continue that, I think we'll be perfectly fine.
And on that note, Daniel, thank you for the time, and congratulations on the win. Go Muck Dogs.
Thank you.
Here with Trey Bacon following tonight's 12-3 impressive domination of Geneva. And Trey, first off, congrats on your performance tonight. You came in and really locked it down after. What do you think allowed you to basically finish this game off?
Thank you. I knew our pitching coach kind of gave us a plan, game plan, and so mentally I kind of prepared for that, and I went out there and pitched well, and he kind of just rode me out, kind of changed the game plan a little bit, but it ended up working out. So,
and your offense tonight, 12 runs, 14 hits, had at least one runner on every inning, and scored almost every inning except the first. When your offense is going like that, what's it like to experience it and go out in support of that?
It's definitely a game changer on the mound. It's completely different, definitely easier, less pressure. And that I just got to focus on doing my job and not doing too much. I know when the offense is hitting like that, even if I do, have a bad inning, they're there to pick me up. You know what I'm saying? So, as a team, I think just that feeling when we're on, it's kind of just the worries are not there. So.
And you had the bases loaded with nobody out, and you were able to hold them to just one run total. You've done that a few times with the bases loaded. Again, what allows you to have a slow heartbeat out there and be able to compose yourself to get out of those?
I'm definitely throwing those on the defense. Defense, there was a great play by Abner in center field. That changes that inning, and that happened last time with that same situation. We had the center fielder threw him out at home on a pop fly, so that's definitely on the defense there.
And you mentioned the play by Abner. You watching it out there, how big of a play was that, and what did you think of it?
Like I said, definitely inning changing. It takes off the pressure. Trying to pitch in a jam is tough, and when something like that happens, it kind of, what I see it as is if my defense picks me up, I'm gonna do my job. You know what I'm saying? So if they're working hard, I'm gonna work hard.
And to be able to a big 12-3 win, as far as you beat Geneva, who you guys have some history with. A few days ago, what happened here on Sunday, not the ending you guys would have liked to have had. How important do you think it is not only to come out and play the way you did, but be able to do it against this team after what happened on Sunday?
We definitely had a mission to do what we did. That was definitely our objective, was to at least put up more than 10, especially after a loss against them. That's just kind of what you got to do to not let the other team build up confidence against you, I guess. So, yeah.
And now we're in the home stretch here in July, and you guys are fighting for playoff position. You're still the 2 seed. Geneva's kind of nipping at your heels. How big a win tonight you think this was?
Every win is from this part is definitely huge. And I think we're coming off a little midseason slump, and I think tonight we got the wheels rolling. I think pitching was there by Tyler and me, and offense was there 1 through 9. So I think we're picking things back up, and I think we're going to be doing pretty good.
Final thing here, Trey, you guys are going to have some games. You got some games on the road this weekend, but then you play Niagara again here at home on Monday. Thoughts on this team as you guys continue to play key divisional games?
We definitely owe Niagara, so we're going to go there tomorrow with the same game plan we had tonight. Kind of just not let them get too confident against us and just do what we got to do.
And on that note, good luck tomorrow, Trey. Congrats on the win. Congrats on your performance. Go Dogs.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And with that, the losing streak is history. Your Batavia Muck Dogs blasting away the Geneva Red Wings by a final count of 12-3. And as mentioned, given the heartbreaking loss your Muck Dogs suffered here on Sunday against the same Geneva team in which Nick Surst hit the game-tying 2-run homer in the 9th off Carlos Rodriguez and then won in the 10th inning by a final count of 5-4. It was really important that they come out and play very strong baseball tonight and show Geneva they can beat them once and for all, and they did exactly that. So, before we wrap things up here, we like to give you a tour around the PGCBL, as always brought to you by the Muck Dogs Baseball Network, and then a preview of the next game. Saugerties and Boonville played a doubleheader today. Saugerties, the defending champs, won game 1 by a final count of 9-5, but then lost to Boonville 6-5 in the second game. Mohawk over Albany 8-2. Amsterdam 7-4 over Glens Falls. Watertown in a surprising upset, beating Utica again 9-2. All of a sudden, the one loss to Watertown doesn't seem nearly as bad, given the way they've beaten up on Utica in their stadium. Newark over Niagara 10-5, which is the Muck Dogs' next opponent. Auburn over James Howard. Check that. Auburn falling to Jamestown 14-7 in a football-like score. And Oneonta over Downstate Elmira 15-4 the final count. So now we've given you the tour around the PGCBL. Want to give you a preview of the next game, and it's coming up here on Monday night as your Batavia Muck Dogs are back here to take on the Niagara Power. And for the Muck Dogs, they want to continue to get revenge on Niagara. The last time these two teams played, Niagara was able to come away with a 10-9, 10-inning victory. Remember, that was a game Batavia had a 6-2 lead in, followed by a 9-6 lead, couldn't hold either, and lost 10-9. And that's the third time this year that Niagara, while at their home stadium, has rallied big time against this Batavia bullpen that's been pretty solid, but has struggled against Niagara on the road. And Niagara doesn't have a great record, so those losses continue to sting. So I'm sure the Muck Dogs are going to show up reared and ready to go on Monday night as they take on the Power. Meanwhile, for Batavia, coming off this field goal win, they hope to extend their home winning streak to 2 in a row with a victory against Niagara on Monday night. Coverage starting at 7 o'clock on the Batavia Muck Dogs Baseball Network. I'll be on the call. And with that, that's going to finish up this edition of the official Batavia Muck Dogs postgame show. My name is John Karuba. Thank you for tuning in one more time before signing off. Your final score tonight, it was your Batavia Muck Dogs 12 and the Geneva Red Wings 3. Thank you. Good night, everybody, and we'll see you again on Monday. Thank you for listening to today's presentation of Batavia Muck Dogs Baseball and this edition of the Batavia Muck Dogs postgame show. Tune into the next exciting telecast to catch everything exciting with your Muck Dogs on the Batavia Muck Dogs Baseball Network.